What's the word, ladies and gentlemen? This is Andrew, and today we have another Dirty Bomb loadout review. This time we'll be reviewing the KE81 Technical Operative for Phoenix. The card I have here is in Obsidian. It's the Obsidian version that I got from the Containment War update by owning Phoenix prior to the event. But don't be surprised if you guys come across this loadout in another rarity. We'll be going over the weapons, augments, and how it stacks up in comparison to the other loadouts. So let's start off with the weapons. For the primary weapon, you have the Hawkfear SMG. It's the fast-firing SMG that deals 9 damage per bullet to the body or 18 damage to the head at a rate of 812 RPM. Its magazine size is 55 rounds, and you reload that mag at 1.8 seconds. The overall DPS of this weapon is quite low at 122 damage per second if you land all body shots, doubling up to 243 for headshots. Now, while this weapon has lower DPS than, say, the KE81, which has 128, it's very accurate. The Hawkfear is an extremely accurate SMG. Its blue per shot is pretty low, which means you'll be able to chain those headshots to make up for its lower DPS. Personally, I'm a huge fan of this weapon because it rewards accurate players. However, I do know a lot of people do prefer the KE81 or the Krotsny. Next up, we have the secondary weapon, which is actually quite nice. We have the Self-Stop 40, which will deal 15 damage per shot to the body, 30 to the head at a rate of fire of 451 RPM. The magazine size is a healthy 12 rounds, and it's got a quick reload time of 1.3 seconds. The body DPS of this weapon is going to be 113, doubling up to 225-ish for all headshots. It's got a total potential damage from entire clip of 180 for body shots, so needless to say, I wouldn't really recommend using it to 1 vs 1 a full health Rhino. Personally, I really like the Self-Stop. It's much better than the Calden. Dear God, I'm so glad we did not get stuck with that goddamn pistol. And it's also a bit more forgiving than, say, the 6-shot revolvers or even the DE50, which has 7 shots. Of course, the king of all the pistols, in my opinion, has to go to the M9, but the Self-Stop does just fine in those last-ditch scenarios. For melee, you get the Beck-Hill knife, which will do 40 damage a slash, and the lunge will hit for 80 damage. As far as melee weapons go, I like it for finishing people. The Beck-Hill has a pretty reliable hitbox. Sometimes I feel like with knives like the stiletto, even the kukri, the hitboxes are a little wonky, where you'll spend a few extra seconds trying to finish someone off with your knife, but from my experience, the Beck-Hill combat knife is pretty consistent in this regard. Now on to the exciting stuff, the augments. You have sort of a mixed bag here. The extra supplies and the potent packs are great support augments, whereas cool is kind of situational. Extra supplies will give you 20% reduction in your cooldown of your healing pulse, which will bring the maximum cooldown to 17 seconds as opposed to 20. In the video footage here, I know you guys can cancel the animation to heal for the maximum amount for shorter cooldowns, but in order to keep things consistent and accurate and to test the worst case scenario, I'm just holding on the button until it automatically heals me. This perk is decent enough as it will allow you to use your ability with slightly less downtime. Potent packs will give you 20% more HP restored on your heals, which will bring up the maximum HP restored from 80 to 96. This augment is pretty awesome as it will allow Phoenix, in most instances where he's not completely down to 0 health, to heal all the way up to full health. This combined with extra supplies will allow Phoenix to heal for more health with less cooldown time. I personally love these two perks together. I think they're great. They really complement each other. But then we have cool, sort of the not so cool augment. Haha, you guys see what I did there? It's sort of an odd duck, which will allow you to hold down the trigger on the MG for 50% more of the time before it overheats. Personally, I find this perk, borderline useless because it's incredibly risky to stay on the MG for prolonged periods of times. Snipers, yeah. You're gonna get sniped. If you stand on the MG for too long, you're just gonna get sniped. However, though, at the same time, one could make the argument that since the insta-jib or insta-gib has been changed on sniper rifles, cool could theoretically be more viable on Phoenix, especially on Phoenix since Phoenix has the ability to revive himself after being headshotted. This, of course, assuming that your body falls in a place where the other team can't easily finish you off, i.e. behind the MG, the mounted machine gun. With that said though, I'm not a huge fan of cool anyways, in almost under any circumstance, as I like to kind of burst fire my MG, hop on and off of it to stay mobile. So my verdict is that cool is pretty situational at best. So, all in all, how does this loadout stack up? Well, I definitely think this is one of the stronger loadouts. However, if you had a choice, and if you don't like the Hog Fear, I would highly suggest that you don't use this loadout. There are plenty of other great options for Phoenix with the KE81 or the Krotzny that also have decent perks as well, such as the KE83 Classic Operative or the CR43 Classic Operative. Those loadouts come with the alternative weapons, the KE81 and the Krotzny, but they also come with the awesome M9 pistol. The KE81 Technical Operative is definitely a loadout that focuses on Phoenix's healing abilities, which often gets written off as like a defensive attribute, but I guess if you look at Phoenix and his playstyle, the potent packs and extra supplies could also help him offensively by allowing him to heal more frequently for more health, thus getting him back into the fight quicker. Overall, I think this is a great loadout. It's very solid, If you had this loadout on Cobalt, definitely do not think it's a useless card. It's got good weapons all around, it's got 2 solid augments. Cool is pretty situational, but it could work out for you if you were able to get that self-revive off. But again, this is just sort of my opinion. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this loadout. Do you think it's great? Do you think it's not so great? Did you even get it in Obsidian? Were you here for the Containment War update? Let me know down in the comments. I hope this loadout review was helpful for you guys, and if it was, go ahead and smash that like button. And yeah, until next time guys, I'll see you in the next one.